So we're gonna skip around a little bit in this video because it's a pretty long video, and I wouldn't want a reaction at least going too long at this stage right now. But bro brings up some good points, and I want to go over a few of them. So we're gonna jump into this here and see what he's talking about. But I saw some of it before, a little bit of it before, and I liked what he was talking about. I said, yeah, let me actually react to this, because some of this stuff I'd actually want to talk about. But let's jump into it.
About 2 years ago, I dropped out of college. I was a business finance major. Hey, my name is Shane Stouffer. I'm a business.
And from what I've seen about this guy, I don't know too much about him, but I know he gets clowned for a lot of stuff. But I think he talks about some interesting topics that he brings up in the video. So let's do it.
Finance major. I chose to be a business finance major because since a young age, I've always had a passion for money. My GPA was a 1.6, and I decided this isn't for me. I'm no good at this. I don't like doing this. I'm moving on to better and greater things. Fast forward 5 months after I dropped out of college, I hadn't done that much dope at all. Mostly just a ton of drugs and more drugs. I don't know. Technically, when you really crunch the numbers, I found myself addicted to and homeless. I didn't do anything except for party and derp around all the time. My parents cut me out financially. So what did I do? I went back knocking on my old frat's door. Hey guys, you know that stinky old storage closet that you guys got downstairs? I was wondering if I could move into the storage closet, and that's where a lot of you guys met me. That's where I started posting my first YouTube videos.
I've not cleaned my room since last weekend when we were all drinking, and everyone for some reason likes to hang out in my tiny room. Laundry, clean clothes, dirty clothes, vitamins, bed. This is our bathroom. You know how it goes. Not too bad. Got the eggs cooking. But you know, this is just not ideal for meal prep.
And over the last 14 months, my life has changed dramatically. I went from abusing steroids, addicted to gambling, broke. 14 months later, now I'm still addicted to steroids, addicted to gambling, but I'm not broke. In all seriousness, in the last 14 months, my life has changed dramatically. It feels like I've been able to do any and everything that I want. I've made over $10 million. I've retired my parents. I bought my first house. I bought my dream car. I bought a iced out chain with my name on it. How cool is that? Doggy chain, bring it in here. Where's this? Over here. I don't know. Like a petizer. I've met so many incredible people that I look up to. I've gotten the opportunity to meet and hang out with. Even a few of them I call my really good friends now. It really feels like I finally got my closure. The old me always dreamt of this life, and now we're here. As you grow, your dreams evolve, so now I want bigger and better things. But as far as what that old me wanted, in just 14 months, I checked off every single box that I could ever dream of, and significantly more. And for something that spectacular to happen in such a short period of time, it wasn't by accident. And a lot of people ask me what the secret sauce was. What exactly was the secret juicer to get you from there to here? A lot of people have these crazy big dreams, but they just cannot seem to connect the bridge from current to dreams, you know? Because dreams, it can't be a reality. It's just one of those. That's just gotta happen. It's, you know, pretty simple equation. You guys know I'm nothing special. I am the most normal frat dude, like.
I just realized I was watching this on ×2 speed, man. So for anybody that watches, who's like me, that watches stuff on ×2 speed, my fault, bro. Honestly, because that's probably almost damn near not being able to understand what the hell he's saying because it's going so fast. But yeah, I just slowed it down, so. Yeah.
No special talents, not very smart. Well, technically 79. 79! Oh my God, there's no way I got 79. But it's neither here nor there. Wasn't very popular, not good in social situations, like you name it. Everything I am bad at. But somehow I pulled it off. So today, here I am putting you guys on the game. What exactly did I do to get there? Here we have 20 ideas that I adapted that changed my life. It only takes 1 good year. If you adapt these ideas today, I truly believe that you can do anything and everything that you want over the course of the next 365 days. Eric, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, welcome to...
You know, a lot of people don't like the gambling steroid stuff. I think no matter who you are as a female, male, MILF, super MILF, super sexy teacher, MILFs that, you know, mostly if you're, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Book of Togi, book of Togi. Simple, spit on that thing, whatever. Overnight, successful, millionaire.
That's crazy to skip and he's saying that, bro.
Everyone for months is hating on Hawk because she has the dream life while I'm slaving away to get where I want. Why did she get it handed to her? That's bullshit because she got it handed to her. But that's the thing, you can't trick the universe. You can't become successful on borrowed effort. When you find success and you have not put in the trials in order to deserve that success, the universe will come crashing down on you. So we circle back to the Hawk girl. Overnight success, but she was successful on borrowed effort. 2 months later, she does whatever, a cryptocurrency scam, and her entire career, entire life is ruined. Now, as of today, nobody would trade their life for Hawk Tua's. Why did that happen to her? Because she did not put in the trials for her success, and now this is her trials. Now she's going through some shit, and one day, I think she will be back with real success. And that's a good point. If your life is shitty right now, that's a good thing. You are currently putting in the trials for your future success so that you are prepared. You have put in the work. You have gone through the shit. You've gone through the thick of it, so you deserve your future success. And when you have your future success, it will be real. Another good example is myself. When I was 18 years old, I made $900,000. I was doing high leverage Bitcoin and Ethereum trading, got super lucky, made $900,000, dropped out of college. I was successful. I didn't earn that success. I was lucky. 8 months later, I had blown all my money. I owe the IRS $250,000 because apparently drugs and vacations don't count as a tax write-off, which is bull. For the record, 100%, that should have been a tax write-off. But either way, I blew that money on cars, drugs, private jets, and all of a sudden, I have no skills, no job, no money, and a nasty addiction. Yikes. Before I went broke, everyone thought I was sick, and then after that, after I went broke.
And that's a common thing, honestly, I see with people that gain success so fast. They gain a lot of stuff so quickly that their brain can't even process what the hell is actually going on. And you've seen that with when TikTok first started. It was so fast to get a lot of views really fast, and you still can, but it's a lot harder now. But TikTok or something, Instagram, if you posted a video in general, some Twitter, X or something, and it just went crazy. And then you're sitting here saying, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm actually blowing up. People know who I am. And I have a chance to make some serious money now. Or you have brands reaching out to you saying, hey, you want to do this deal? And maybe you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. No, I want to do what I'm doing. And then they show you how much they'll pay you, and you're saying, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to do this damn deal. It's just so many different things hitting you at once. Just like what he's saying here. Most people, you're not able to handle that. It's like winning the lottery, and then you see the common story of they blow it all because, again, they weren't able to adjust to that lifestyle. And unless you invest in the right people, because it's not just investing, because you can just throw your money away. Investing in the right people, the right education, or the right knowledge that you need to make the right decisions with that money that you have or those new opportunities. A lot of times you're just shooting in the dark, and it can still work. We've seen that happen, but most of the times you have no clue what's going on, and then boom, you're right back to where you started. Yeah, you may have lived a little bit. Yeah, you may have done a lot of stuff so fast, or you just, like he's talking about, you get addicted to drugs and all this kind of crazy stuff you can get exposed to, but you lose it all. And now you're back to the beginning, and now you almost have to build yourself back up to that. And sometimes people can't do it. Some people do, now that they're exposed to it. But he's talking some stuff that happens in real life every day with people that get themselves in situations that they can't handle. I've seen it personally, and yeah, man, it separates people who are ready for this and people who aren't. When you've been grinding or working really hard on something, and you see that little growth every day, and then one day, boom, you have that huge explosion. It's almost like, in a lot of cases, you're ready for it because you've built yourself mentally, physically, and externally with all the stuff that you've been able to produce, whether it's content or the value you've given to people personally, all those things. So yeah, it's definitely a real thing, man.
Nobody thought I was dope. Oh, haha, look at Toby, what an idiot. Don't worry about what others have. Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side because the grass is fake. You never know what somebody actually has. So if you're wasting all your energy and your time worried about, oh, this is bullshit, they have this, they have that, why don't I have the XYZ? You're wasting your time on somebody that might have fake grass. And finally, when you do find success, because you will, stay vigilant and stay humble, because you never know. Sometimes if you have success and it was a little too easy, it's hard to see at the time. Again, when I was 18, I thought I made all that money because I was smart, because I was good at cryptocurrency trading. Classic Dunning-Kruger effect. If you guys aren't familiar with the Dunning-Kruger effect, it's when you first embark on something, about 2 to 4 weeks in, you feel like you know everything about it. And then as you learn more and more about whatever it is you're diving into, you realize you don't know about it. But a lot of people get stuck at the top of the Dunning, and then they get Krugered. I think that's why it's called the Dunning-Kruger. Dunning-Kruger. You don't want to get Krugered, and you don't want to stay at the Dunning. You have to stay humble, because it might not be what you think. I'm being a total hypocrite by saying that, because I have always, consistently throughout my life, flexed earlier than I should have, and I get humiliated for it every single time. So
yeah, and again, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, people stumble onto success, and they don't know what that comes with. You got a lot of eyes on you, and that's an understatement. You get possibly a lot of money up front, and you don't know what to do because it's all at once. You don't have a plan. You didn't think of what your life would look like at this stage, and now you have it, and you don't know what to do. So it's almost, I saw something where it was almost like if you're not used to a situation that drastically changes you, it's almost as if you're subconsciously putting yourself back into the situation you were originally in, because this new reality is not something you're used to. And I'm butchering the hell out of it, bro, but essentially it explains why so many people lose a lot of the wealth that they gain up front, because they don't know how to handle it. And as opposed to looking for help, they kind of just blow it all. And yeah.
Just telling you guys, don't do the same mistake as me because I played myself. If you do find success and it was a little too easy, you're not guaranteed to fail. You just have to stay humble and grateful for what you have. If when I was 18, I stayed humble, said, okay, I probably made all this money from crypto because I got lucky. So I should back off, I should learn, grow other businesses, practice my skills, save, invest this 900,000 and not blow it on cars because I think unlimited money is coming my way. Then we would be in a much better situation. I could have been set for life when I was 20, but when I was 20, I was broke with a addiction. The only difference was I wasn't humble. Massive difference in the output of your life. All right, moving on. A lot of people have these massive daydreams, you know, they daydream about whatever their dream life looks like. It feels so real that they can taste it. But for some reason, they believe that they're destined for a mediocre, a subpar life. The irrational idea that other people are more capable, fundamentally better, fundamentally luckier, and are more deserving to operate at a high level. The haves versus the have-nots. Some people have XYZ, and I am a have-not because I'm not lucky enough, I'm not skilled enough, I'm not talented enough. But you have to ask yourself, what's more likely? Are these people fundamentally more capable than me, or have I not tried enough? Do I not have the right mindset towards it? I mean, look at me, for example. I have clocked in IQ on paper, which I think my IQ is way higher than this, but it's neither here nor there. According to the...
You notice the trend of people not giving a shit, having a lot more success than people who give a shit. And a lot of times it's simply because they don't give a shit. They don't feel like they have much to lose. They put themselves in a position where if I fail, I fail. But if I make it, then let's see where this goes. And on the other side, you have people that are almost overanalyzing everything, and they feel as if everything has to be to a T, and if it's not, it's just not gonna work. And I've had to battle that to an extent, but I feel like I kind of balance it out in some cases, but that's definitely something I've battled with to myself. That's honestly the common thing that a lot of people run into, and that's what he's speaking on.
My IQ is 79, and I made over $10 million last year. I bet you could think of off the top of your head 10 celebrities that you believe are an idiot, but they have more than you. And there's hundreds of celebrities. There's millions of people on this planet, not just celebrities operating at the highest level, but think about even in high school. There's a ton of your peers that started with less than you, but they got that promotion. They're operating at a higher level than you. Do not dreams for somebody else to do. Every single day you wake up and somebody that had less than you ends up with more than you. And that should drive you insane. Watching somebody steal your dreams, watching somebody live their dreams for you is the ultimate form of regret. Why not you? You have the tools, you have the brain power, you have the abilities, you are more than capable to conquer the world, but for some reason, you're stuck in this irrational box of beliefs that you're destined for being fucking mediocre.
A lot of people fall into, and again, it comes into how some people are raised. I think that plays an effect as well. But yeah, a lot of people, they've done so many great things without even realizing it, and it's almost as if they don't believe they can do more. And I've ran into some people like that. I've had people who have come and go throughout my life, and I'm saying, bro, you've been able to do X, Y, and Z, but you could take this 10 times levels higher, but you don't see the vision. So if you don't see the vision, how are you gonna move forward? If you don't see the vision, how are you gonna move forward, man? The only limitation, you guys have heard it a million times, the only limitation is your mind. And at the end of the day, if you don't believe, how do you expect others to? You might have a few here and there that might believe in you, but again, if you don't believe in yourself, at the end of the day, there's nothing they can do in most cases, there's nothing they can do to make you take that action. And that's many times what people run into. That's why you have people like this, not saying he's stupid or, you know, all that kind of stuff, but you have people like this who don't give a shit, blowing past people that could potentially do a whole lot more and probably could if they actually decided to let go of some of that perfectionism that they have.
I've never once in my life met a loser, like a true, genuine deadbeat that's never gonna amount to anything. What do I mean by this? If you have ever made someone laugh, you're funny. If you have ever woken up at 7 a.m., 7 days in a row, worked a 40, 50, 60-hour week, if you've ever worked a 60-hour week, you know how to work hard. I've never worked a 60-hour week, so you're outperforming me and most influencers on the hard work front. If you have ever dreamt so big that you can taste it, if you can vividly see your daydream so clearly that it feels real, then you know how to harness the law of attraction. A lot of people have a hard time grasping the law of attraction, even though it's within you. So what I'm saying is everyone is phenomenal, everyone is incredible at many things, but at least one thing you are the best at. At least one thing you can be the best at. But a lot of people, when they aren't where they want to be in life and they're in the wrong circle, they get in a lot of negative thoughts of like, oh, I'm not good at anything, I'm a piece of shit. But you just haven't found your value yet. You're made of gold, but sometimes gold isn't useful when you're trying to build a hammer. Does that make sense? I don't know if that metaphor made like perfect one-to-one sense, but
I've had trouble believing in the fact that coincidences are a thing. I've had trouble believing, and I say the fact that as if they are. I have trouble believing in coincidences because sometimes certain things happen and you're saying to yourself, ain't no way this is a coincidence, man. Ain't no way this is a coincidence. Or if something happens repeatedly to where you're saying to yourself, how the hell is this happening in this order, bro? I don't understand. It don't make sense to me. And so we was like, oh, it's just a coincidence, bro. There ain't no way this thing happened to me today, and then tomorrow the same exact thing at the same exact time happened to me again. And then I see this person that so happens to have some sort of connection with the same two stuff that happened the 2 previous days. I'm saying to myself, I've had so many of these moments where I've said, doesn't make sense, bro. Does not make sense. And I don't know, at the end of the day, you know, I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in, you know, the universe that works for you in certain ways, as long as you're giving that energy towards whatever it is you're working towards. But I don't know, at the end of the day, we don't know, man. We human at the end of the day.
Don't worry about the money now. Focus on becoming great at what you love, and the money will come, I promise you. Oh my God, are we really gonna have this dog yelling at us for this whole thing? That's gonna be a huge problem. Don't be so scared of your dreams, because they're not that scary. Don't want to go to the MLB, I want to be the president, XYZ. Like when you were a kid, when you were in 6th grade, everybody has these insane visions. They seem so realistic. When you're in 6th grade, you think you can conquer the world. All of a sudden you grow up, you're 18, and that spark is completely gone. What changed? Think about it this way. If you set up a 1 foot wide plank and laid it across the floor, you could walk across that thing 1,000 out of 1,000 times. But if you took that exact same plank and put it 1,000 feet in the air, 99% of people are gonna fall because you're too busy looking down. What if I fall? If I fall, I'm totally... Most people aren't even gonna try and cross that beam when it's 1,000 feet in the air, because you're too worried about what if it goes wrong. Even though the task itself, cross that skinny mother, is not that difficult. Why are you so focused on what could go wrong when everything could go right? By nature, the journey is intimidating. It's built in. That's how it should be. No movie would be exciting if it wasn't, oh, what if he falls off that beam? What if he falls off the bridge and dies? If every movie was super easy, I'm not gonna watch that movie if it's
Calculated risk, man. Calculated risk. Even what I'm doing right now, we're living in a perfect example of what I'm doing right now. I have a lot of stuff that goes on throughout the day, and you have so many reasons to make an excuse as to why you can't do something when, bro, at the end of the day, a la madre, bro. A su madre, bro. It does not matter. A mí me da igual. I can do what I want to do within the situation I'm in, but you have to find a way for it to make sense to you. You have to find a way for it to make sense for your situation. There are so many different reasons for you to say, I can't do something. But bro, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, do you want to get to this specific goal of whatever it is you want, or do you want to stay in the position you are? I'm sure we've heard the quote a million times. There's a bunch of quotes we hear day in and day out, and sometimes it just goes through one ear and come out the other. I'm sure we heard the quote that you pick your hard, right? Either way, life is going to be difficult, but you can do the stuff that is a little bit more uncomfortable, and at the end of the day, something might come out of it. And if something doesn't come out of it, guess what? You learn something, and you can adjust and continue moving forward. But a lot of people want to stay into that bubble or worry about what other people think, when a lot of times, sometimes people might for a second say, what the hell is bro doing? What the hell is he doing, man? And maybe they might dwell on it a little bit. But yeah, most of the time, bro, people do not care, bro. They have a million things going on in their own life. At the end of the day, do it. At the end of the day, do it, man. In what makes sense for you, Some people have a little bit more risk tolerance than others, but at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing it comes down to, and what he's talking about here too, is taking action on stuff. People have dreams that can evolve into other stuff, or they might change their mind, but make sure you're changing your mind because you genuinely don't have an interest in that thing. That whatever that is that you want to, you no longer want to do. It's not a situation where, oh, I'm afraid of what people think. So, I did have that dream when I was younger, but I don't think it's gonna work for me anymore. And then you just completely forget about it. When that's something that's still within you, but you kind of just bottled it up and said, forget about it, screw it, bro. I don't think I can do it anyways. You have somebody else, similar situation as you, that decided the opposite and said, you know what, we'll see where this goes. I live once, let's see where this goes. That's all it is. That is all it is. But at the end of the day, it comes back down to taking action, despite whatever your situation is. In most cases, there are no excuses. In many cases, there are no excuses. You do have certain situations, and you have to actually look at it from a perspective of being fair with yourself. Can I actually make this happen? But in many cases, there's something that you can do in many cases, man. So that's how I look at it.
Antagonist, protagonist just gets the loot. at the start of the movie, that'd be the worst movie of all time. It's supposed to be scary. That's why it's incredible. It's supposed to be scary. You're supposed to risk everything, and you're meant to accomplish it. It's like the movies, I'm telling you, you're like, oh, life's not a movie. It's just like a movie. Your life, you should treat your life like a movie, and you're the main character, because that's all it really is. Do you really think that if you were the main character of a movie, are you destined to sit at a desk job for 8 hours a day? Everybody else's opinions, what everyone else is doing, because you're the main character of your movie. And I'm telling you guys, you're meant to succeed. Oh my God, you're meant to succeed. It drives me mad just thinking about how many people don't truly believe that they can succeed. The task itself is not that hard. Crossing the beam is not that hard, guys, I promise you. Okay, let's put it this way. The beam, sure, not the best comparison in the world, because that's not one-to-one, you know? Realistically, life is not walking across a beam. Let me put into real terms how easy your dreams are. The WNBA gets 50 million unique viewers a year. The WNBA! Have you ever in your entire life watched a WNBA game? Another example, Scrub Daddy. You guys know that sponge with the smiley face on it? It's like $1 billion company, Scrub Daddy. We're talking about, think about what that is, Scrub Daddy, Scrub Daddy. We're talking about a sponge in which you scrub. But I guess this sponge is extra special. The point being is that people will watch anything. People will consume anything. 8 billion, I think, maybe 9, who the f knows, who the f cares? Billions of people on this planet, and you don't think 100,000 are gonna be your fan? 100,000 won't buy your product? 100,000 won't support you? That's literally like 1/50,000th of a percent. That math is off the top of my head. It's not important. I think you guys get the idea of that chapter.
A lot of people want to work hard for.
Honestly, man, and I've seen a few people talk about this, but despite how much content you see, and despite when you go onto the internet and you feel overwhelmed, if you open, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media, even YouTube, and you feel overwhelmed, despite seeing all that, there is a shortage of content, which when I saw that the first time a few months ago from whatever video I saw that somebody said that, I was taken aback a little bit, because I was saying, despite all this stuff, you're still telling me that people want to see more. There's never enough. There's never enough. And when you actually take a moment to step back, you actually realize a lot of people will get themselves in the situation. A lot of people find themselves in a spot where, how many times have you maybe sat down and you can't find a show to watch, or you watch one thing while you're eating and then you look at something else, what else can I watch? What else can I look at? And that may be a problem in itself, but a lot of people run into that kind of stuff where they're just constantly watching, they gotta constantly consume. And you have to make the decision on whether you wanna be that type of person, or if you wanna be somewhere in the middle, or if you wanna be somebody who produces stuff for those people, because at the end of the day, there is never enough content. So it puts you in a spot to decide where do you want to be. And I think in the middle, at the end of the day, is important too, because a lot of times you have to be a consumer to understand the consumer themselves and understand what is it that this person finds so important to, whether it's my competitors or something in the space that you're trying to create something to, whether it's disrupted or, you know, something that's can add value to whatever it is that you're looking to get yourself into. And that's really what it comes down to, man. Yeah, I mean, the topic of this is really what it is, man. Taking action and not really letting your internal mind get into the way of how you think, man. I think I want to do a second part of this video, but I do have to run too, so we're gonna cut it here. But that's really the video, man. I might do a second part of this, depending on how I feel. But yeah, man, that's really what it is, man. Take action despite whatever it is, and see what comes of it. And yeah, but let me know what y'all think below, and we'll go from there. Have you guys found yourself in a situation where, or moments where you have to kind of go against whatever it is you're thinking and kind of take action regardless? And how did you push through that? But yeah, y'all let me know below.